Welcome, everyone, to our podcast. Today, we're sitting with partners in school nutrition, diving into actionable inspiration to provide you not only ideas, but strategies for success. I'm your host, Maureen Pisanick, and I'm thrilled to explore this topic with you and with some of our school nutrition friends.
All right, so this is a special edition of NutriSmart SNAX Podcast. We are live from Columbus, Ohio. We're at the OSBA Capital Conference. We've spent 2 days talking to colleagues, friends, board members, treasurers, superintendents. I feel like it's been a family reunion of sorts because our community of school professionals is small. And this makes it feel like a family. And some of my favorite family members are here with me today. So I snagged them for our quick podcast. I have with me today Mr. Phil Herman, and I have Tom Speaks. They are the Impact Group, but way before that, you and I had a little bit of a history, yeah?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so we met at Hudson when I was the food service director. You were first in a role, and then you became our superintendent.
Right.
And you know, my favorite memory of you, besides just being really inspirational to me, was doing the earthworm across the stage for a student engagement where everybody was crazy. So I used to get people crazy about nutrition and food, and you just riled everybody up. It was an awesome day.
There may still be some YouTubes of that show up every now and then. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So tell us a little bit about your work now, because you impacted me as a young professional, so much so that we still concentrically move in similar paths now. You're doing something different. Talk a little bit about Impact Group.
So at the Impact Group, we do strategic planning, we do communications, and we do culture development. And you're kind to say that I was inspirational, Maureen. I've always had an opportunity to surround myself by amazing people, and at the Impact Group, we've been able to do that too, and that has given me the chance to work with Tom Speaks again. We were a client of the Impact Group when I was at Hudson, and then we had the opportunity now for me to go there and just really work with an incredible team. We brought Doreen Osmond on from Hudson City Schools, and she came on, and so it's a pretty special place, and we get to do some really exciting things with our clients.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah. I love this. And not too many years ago, we used to call it the Back to School Boot Camp, and now we call it our Innovation Academy. You all came and you presented on this wonderful book. This is a second iteration of this book, but Tom, tell us a little bit about Appreciology. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. People don't think it's as important as it is, I think. And it's been revolutionizing to our thinking as we train and try to get folks thinking about what it is to really retain good people. And what is Appreciology? Give us a little
First of all, thank you. And you're an inspiration yourself. I mean, you bring energy wherever you go. So, oh my gosh, so appreciated. Appreciology really it's a systematic having appreciation in a culture. Honestly, cultures that have a sense of appreciation thrive, and those that don't. And what's crazy is if you have a room full of people and you say, who thinks appreciation is important? Every single person raises their hand. And then when you ask them, though, how do you do it? Are you good at it? No one has any idea how to do it. So there's this huge disconnect. So Appreciology really are very concrete, specific action items that an organization can do to create a culture of appreciation. And again, if you have a youth that thrives. If you don't, you don't. So how do you do it? That's what it's all about.
I love it. I love it. So we help schools write menus, and the best, in my opinion, is when a student shows appreciation in the cafeteria and it lights that food service worker up, and then they're more likely to think about the work they put into doing something, maybe scratch cooking. This is funny because we did this little experiment here today, actually the last 2 days. So we often think, people think we judge their menus or we judge what they're doing in nutrition. And I think it's true because this was an experiment. So we had this lovely, basket of clementines, and we stuck a little treat in here. And no one picked up the treat. There were a lot of, this is a smaller basket than it was. So no one picked this up. We don't judge you for what you serve in your lunch program. We want kids to eat. It's not nutrition unless they eat it, right? So part of it is this was just a fun little experiment. We talked about people not feeling judged and feeling valued and feeling in partnership with you as a person that works in schools.
Well, the crazy part of the experiment is one booth away, you can't see it, we have a basket of Kit Kats that are going like hotcakes. They're going, but when it sits here,
but by the dietitians, they're like, no.
There's judgment, and we can't take it. So you're right. So how to do it without judgment?
Yeah, I really do think part of our path to success is really empowering schools with professional development that helps them move the needle on their menu. Talk about Appreciology as we think forward to keeping staffs engaged, minimizing turnover. It's a struggle that we have in every department in schools. Your goal is to really set a foundation that really becomes a culture and that wraparound family hug that I felt here coming back like a family reunion. How do we get that to more people? How do we teach schools that?
Yeah, we know that there are many components to job retention, but we know that appreciation and the feeling appreciated is one of the absolute most essential components. People don't leave jobs where they feel truly appreciated, or they at least leave it at a much, much lower percentage. And so how do we sincerely do that? Tom was talking about in Appreciology, we talk about the importance of connection and clarity and intentionality in terms of our actions. But we also have to recognize that it starts with us first. It starts with every single time. It always starts with our own mindset, and there are very specific practices that we can put into place that enable us to view the world in a more positive place. As an individual leader, we have to bring that first, and then be able to transfer that to our people if we're ever going to create a culture that is based on appreciation.
Yeah. I love that.
And appreciation, when we talk to organizations a lot, people will talk about end of the year banquets and gifts and all that. It's all good stuff. But do you have a culture where you catch each other doing something right?
Yeah.
Where you say a kind word, where you even notice some of the good things. And a lot of times you don't, because you're so busy, you don't even see it. So part of it is just that small stuff. It's not that small.
Yeah.
I can ask you for a question.
Sure.
As far as how does food service, how do what you guys do positively impact culture? Because food is a big part of culture.
Yeah.
And I know you guys have had great success with this.
Yeah, so over 2 decades, I still the fire is still lit. I think the kitchen can be the heart of any school. Think about your own home. It's the month of November. I'm thinking about my Thanksgiving. It's going to be spent in the kitchen with my loved ones. It's going to be a place where we create memories, where we laugh. We might have some music playing. We might have a little wine. All the things, fun things that we have in our toolbox to be together and spend time together. That can be a school cafeteria. I think when we look at each one of those folks, I think they're a little bit of the unsung hero, right? Oh, yeah. Hungry kids can't learn. So first of all, I like to empower nutrition staff to say, you're just as important as any aspect. The bus driver gets them here. He's important. The kitchen staff welcomes for breakfast, for lunch. They can't learn if they're hungry. And so I really like to, while I'm training nutrition on all the menu stuff and all the other things we do, I want them to believe they're valued. And they are so valued and so necessary. I'm a mom, so I give them a lot of that, hey, I don't like to pack lunch. I'm a busy working mom. I want my kiddo to go in through the lunch line and enjoy something. I love the idea, we do choice architecture. So it's not hey, you have to eat this orange. If I'm a kid that doesn't like this, but I'll pick up an apple or some grapes. We like to have choice, and we teach the staff, we don't want you to waste your time by making something and giving it and the kids don't like it. We like to empower them to really feel that they have a place to be an educator. And right. When you provide a lovely produce bar, you're a teacher. You're teaching hey, this has good vitamin C. The apple, great fiber. Apple a day keeps the doctor away. All of the things. Kids that won't tolerate something green. If you put all different kinds of shades of green, they might pick a celery stick over a broccoli, and that's okay. It's teaching them. And so back to your question, I really want folks to understand their value isn't just coming and starting a stove or putting something out for kids. It's part of every part of the education piece of every day. It's part of the spoke of the wheel that keeps a good district running. And so I think that's something we can really value in others. And again, I think you challenged us when you presented at our back to school boot camp. I think it was a 30-day challenge. Say something kind to someone, catch them doing something good and appreciate it for 30 days, and then I'll send you, whatever it was. And I really loved that, because even then, back in the day, now she's retired, we had Shelly Schoonover from Hudson High School, and darn if she didn't take that challenge serious. Mm-hmm. And so not only is it us trying to empower through education, it's folks like you that come in and really help us. You are the experts in what I would say motivating folks to think about their world differently and their place in the world of wherever their role is, and from us, the kitchen. And for us, our goal is really to empower them to feel confident and professional in the work they do. And I think that's why we collab really well. I do. I love that.
Yeah, but even that choice that you talk about, the intentionality, the attention to the quality, those in and of themselves are expressions of appreciation for our students, for our staff. That intentionality is one of the main roots that we talk about in Appreciology. And it makes a difference when people see that level of deliberate intention. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I may make a comment too,
Yeah.
you asked a question a moment ago about retention of great employees.
Yes.
You nailed it. As far as you make sure your food service folks know the larger purpose of what they do. They aren't just putting out food. They are making sure the kids have what they need to succeed. It's the same with, you mentioned a bus driver. Mm-hmm. If she or he doesn't do their job, nobody gets educated. If the custodians don't show up and do a nice job, it's not a safe environment. If the SRO is not there, people aren't safe. Everybody, what's crazy about people though is we generally look at whatever job we do and break it down to the least common denominator. If I'm in finance, all I do is spreadsheets. Mm-hmm. If I'm in food service, I just serve up. No. But as a leader, it's our responsibility. You do it by making sure they understand the larger purpose of why they're there. That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. So this book, I first of all, my signed copy, I'm very grateful for this. Give me a quote, a specific passage. If I were in school food service and I picked this up, I mean, obviously, it can be read like a textbook. It's not like a novel cover to cover. What would be one chapter you would think would be a good starting place for somebody to kind of focus on? That's hard, I know.
Oh, gosh.
I threw that one in.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll act as host. Tom, do you have any quotes you like to go with?
I mean, there's the 4 roots of gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude, just a big one. You've already hit it. Just being aware of your folks, being aware of the good things they do. There's something we talk about in the book a lot called negativity bias. And the idea is that we as human beings see things that are going wrong. It's weird. It's the way we operate. Are you able to train yourself to see the good things? So in a kitchen, I'll bet there's 99% things, everything's going great, perfect, everything, but there's one thing which has gone bad. Everybody didn't down there. So how can we, it's like that, yes, we need to fix that, but kind of pick your head up. My gosh.
Yeah, look
what
we did. Yeah.
So almost to kind of help the team see that most things are going great. And can we focus on that?
I love that.
Yeah, and as I think about it, if I could only ask them to do one thing, it would be the gratitude journal. And that's just writing 3 things today I am grateful for. And after doing that for 45 days, you begin to rewire your brain, and you will actually be scanning the world for things that you're grateful for. You see it differently than if you don't practice that. So if there was only one piece, there's a lot of pieces I would share, but if there was only one piece, I feel like that is so powerful, because that, again, like it starts here and then it can spread.
That's crazy. We always use the example. Have you ever bought a car, like a new brand? We worked with my son to help him get a Subaru. Mm-hmm. Got a Subaru. I never noticed Subarus ever, and now I see Subarus everywhere because it's somehow, with the gratitude journal, again, it's the weirdest thing. As Phil said, you actually begin to look for things that are positive, and they're not like earth-shattering. It's just you see a baby smile at the store, or somebody says something kind, or somebody does a good job, and you notice it. So I agree that a journal is probably a fundamental way to start.
Yeah,
I love that. Okay, so we wouldn't be a NutriSmart SNAX podcast unless we talked a little bit about school lunch. Yes. So I gave you all a copy of our nutrition cookbook.
Yes.
So these little fun ditties, if I had to tell you my favorite recipe in here, there's a lot because it was very much a passion project for our team to put it together. But I did put in there a chicken noodle soup recipe that I learned as a young girl from my family. And so there's a little fun stories in here about what we've done with this recipe book to kind of tie that concept of family. And we love helping schools. They say, hey, remember when we used to be able to make this? And so our goal with these types of projects are to make it possible for them to feel that nostalgic, to feel that comfort food, and still meet all the regulations. So that is a funny thing. But we always ask our podcast interviewees a fun question. So I'm going to ask you both, what was your favorite school lunch and why? It could be anything.
Yeah, so again, feeling like the judgmental piece.
I'm going the same place you are, I think.
Every once in a while, they would have what we called Hollywood squares. And so that's a Northeast Ohio thing. They don't call them Hollywood squares everywhere, which are the chocolate peanut butter squares. And if that happened to be on the plate, it was like the best day. And then you got into middle school where you were actually allowed to buy like your own dessert, and so I would have to be like limited on that. I'm still like, I still have that like sweet tooth for Reese's peanut butter cups or whatever, like a good
born out of the
Hollywood
good
squares.
old Hollywood square.
Hollywood squares.
Fun story about that. There is a nostalgic copy of that recipe pinboarded at the Hudson Nutrition offices. Kim Savora got it, and it's pinboarded. It looks like a good old Joy of Cooking index card. It's so funny to hit.
So I will admit, I remember those clearly.
I've done the same thing. I mean, I was in Cuyahoga Falls. We would have chewed through an iron bar to get a Hollywood square. I mean, those were oh my gosh, to this day they were like salty and kind of gritty, but man, they were, I don't know what they put in those things, but oh my gosh.
I've seen the recipe. I've seen the recipe, and I know that it does not belong in this cookbook. I can tell you that.
I love it.
It is not.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you both today for being a part of this fun little impromptu podcast.
Yeah, I love it.
I know our worlds will continue to collaborate and work within because, you meet people. Our mission is wholesome meals, fueling healthy lives. Our goal really is to empower folks, and the ethos between Impact Group and Pisanick is so interwoven. I know there's going to be some great collabs.
Well, thanks for what you do. I mean, this is all about creating a great culture, and you guys, what you do, you make that happen. So it's a very, very important part of culture. So thank you. And also, this book you guys put together, it's beautiful. I mean, the visuals and it's so nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so grateful for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks,
Awesome.
Maureen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now I'm going to eat this Kit Kat.
All right. No judgment.
No judgment.
Nice.
Awesome.